The Super Bowl halftime show and the commercials.
Let's talk about that. And that. Good morning, Chia Lincoln. Whoop, whoop, whoop. It is Monday, February 7th, 2011. Thank you for joining us. It is Good Morning, Chia Lincoln.
Last night, I was watching the Super Bowl.
I was watching it too. We weren't together.
We have separate weekend lives. We tend to keep our lives totally separate on the, I don't even know where Link lives.
It's very healthy that way.
I have met his wife and his children a couple of times. And we did see each other at the Blue Sky Film Fest, the Mythical Beast gathering, which was a lot of fun. Thanks for all of you who came out to that.
8 million pounds of guacamole was consumed yesterday. Can you believe that? I'm not good with numbers, but I'm pretty certain that I've got that statistic correct.
It's a lot of avocados.
Did you eat any guacamole?
A little bit, not.
Oh, I ate a lot.
I didn't. You contributed well to that 8 million pounds, but we didn't see each other because we do have these separate weekend lives. It's healthy that way because we spend a lot of time together.
I saw that you tweeted shortly after halftime what turned out to be a controversial tweet, which was also posted at facebook.com/RhettandLink. A lot of comments.
Now, I'm going to be honest with you people here. I meant to stir the pot a little bit because where I was watching the halftime show, there was some polarization in the room. A lot of, some Black Eyed Peas hating. And then I went on the interwebs and I saw that a lot of people were talking about how bad the show was. So I was like, you know what? I figure that people who really liked The Who last year really hate Black Eyed Peas. And if I say something bad about The Who and good about the Black Eyed Peas, I'll start a little firestorm here on the internet.
Especially since people were saying, just hating on the halftime show anyway.
So I tweeted, "Dear Who, that in all caps is how you do a halftime show."
Putting one word in all caps anytime in a tweet is dangerous, first of all. So you're really living on the edge,
yeah.
Rhett.
And it generated over 100 comments on our Facebook page.
Did Fergie or Will.i.am actually comment? Did they reply?
I think they were busy at that moment that I was tweeting.
That's true.
They both do follow me, I'm sure, though.
They were trying to take off those intricate LED suits that they were wearing. They're probably still doing that this morning.
And then I followed up the comment with, mission accomplished. I knew that this would cause this kind of reaction. Now, but then I also returned one of the comments, or replied to one of the comments from Ethan. I said, I will tell you my honest opinion this morning on GMCL. And Link, you're here. You saw the same halftime show.
And I will say that, in the little that you've told me about your opinion, we're in agreement. We are a united front here at Rhett and Link Incorporated.
Okay, and here's what we think about the halftime show. Okay, people, the Black Eyed Peas, I didn't expect Fergie to come out and play the drums. I didn't expect Will.i.am to come out with the bass. I didn't expect those other two guys whose names I don't know to come out with like guitars and sitars, because Black Eyed Peas is a band, if you want to call them a band, who sings along with tracks. Yes, they auto-tune. They're just this machine that generates pop hits. And if you're not into pop hits, and I never bought a Black Eyed Peas CD. I've never downloaded a Black Eyed Peas. I don't consider myself a Black Eyed Peas fan. But what was I expecting from the Black Eyed Peas? I was expecting a show.
But I'll tell you what I wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting hundreds of people, including some of the key performers, wearing suits that lit up, and they were like, it had to be a fire hazard. That's exciting. I wasn't expecting that.
But I'm telling you, I was expecting it because Will.i.am, he's a showman. It's called the halftime show. It's not called the halftime listening party. If you're into The Who and you liked The Who last year, well, that was a listening party. That was a concert. It's like, let's watch these old dudes play their guitars, who they're obviously awesome musicians and play great music. But the Black Eyed Peas, I wasn't expecting great performance and good singing, and I didn't get that. But what I got was a full field full of people in suits. It looked like the freaking Chinese Olympic opening ceremony.
Well, kind of. But
like a small fraction of
it was very cool. And, I don't know if the whole Usher appearance, I don't know, did you realize that that was Usher?
It was a lookalike, actually.
I think that was a surprise. And the whole Slash coming up out of the stage.
You had Usher coming down, you had Slash coming up. I mean, Fergie sounded like a dying cat singing next to him. I had not acknowledged that. But it was a good show.
It was a good show.
It was a good show. It was a good halftime show. The music, well.
Turning and coughing kind of makes me think of something else.
I'm at the doctor's appointment.
Okay, so that's what we got to say about that.
We have a staff doctor who's always under the table.
Don't hate on the halftime show, guys. I mean, they set it up in the middle of a football field, for goodness sakes, and then they tear it apart. It was fun to watch, you know. I wouldn't want to listen to the MP3 this morning.
Of course not. But it was. I mean, I had the sound off. You know.
I enjoyed the game.
I was watching. It was a show. I was seeing what was being shown to me. It was people in boxes on their heads. It was cool. It was funny.
And thank goodness it was a great game. I hear that they aired the Super Bowl in England. Mm-hmm. If you're an Englishman or an Englishwoman, I'm curious to know in the comments if you watched the Super Bowl. Turn your head and cough and leave a comment. Yeah, Did you watch the commercials? Let's switch gears. Let's talk about the commercials.
I watched probably 75% of them. I had to take some pee breaks, and I didn't want to miss any of the game. So
this is what I'm going to do. USA Today has their Super Bowl ad meter. You go to usatoday.com. We'll put the link in the description. They basically measure the most successful ads. So I just want to quickly go through based on their measurements, and this is as close to official as, in my opinion, you're going to get, of the most popular ads. I want to go in reverse order. Very quickly, you tell me if you saw it, and we'll just give our opinion on it. Coca-Cola border guards share Coke.
Okay, I remember that one. Very epic, very movie-like. I don't think I got it.
Well, yeah, it was like... It just wasn't that good. Number 9.
I think it was a reference to something that I didn't get.
Bridgestone, Beaver pays back good deed. Now this is the one where like the let's see what happens first. The guy's driving.
He misses the beaver. Then the next time he
dodges
comes back,
the
beaver throws a tree down, so he misses the washed out bridge.
But the
very
most
smart beaver.
The most important part is the very end where the beaver's like, he gives him the signal. He's like, I got your back, man.
It had an animal a cute animal in it,
I love nothing more than seeing a furry little creature give something that could be interpreted as a gang sign. That is my favorite commercial from the Super Bowl right there. USA Today number 9.
We got to keep moving through these here.
Number 8, NFL TV show clips. Whatever. Pepsi first date thoughts.
I thought that was awful. I thought that commercial was awful.
Just so cliche.
The guy where they could hear the thoughts in each other's heads.
Career builder, chimps parked too close. I didn't see that one.
That was when the monkeys came in and they hit him. He's got chimpanzees driving cars wearing suits. I mean, that's great.
Yeah.
That's never bad. You put a chimp in a suit and give him a car, good things always happen. I like that one.
Pepsi Max, Love Hurts. This is where the woman is violent with her husband trying to get him to be on a diet, but then she ends up cold cocking a runner.
Anytime somebody gets hit with something, I mean, that's a little bit good. People like it when people get hit.
Pretty good acting.
That was okay. I mean, nothing special.
Number 4, Doritos. House sitter brings back grandpa from ashes. He forgets to feed the fish and the flowers. He does it at the last minute with the Doritos, and then he knocks over the urn as the guy's coming in the door. And then, I think the writing was great. The jump cut there from the urn falling over to then the grandpa's like resurrected.
I mean, I thought it was funny. Doritos is a food product. So I don't like to think about dead man's ashes, like especially dead old grandpa ashes, when I'm thinking about food, because I'm thinking about like cheese powder, not
eating
human powder.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
number 3.
This was my favorite.
The Volkswagen. Everybody loves this one. You have to be a jerk not to love the young Darth Vader practices the Force and finally succeeds via remote ignition starter.
I just thought this one was great on a lot of different levels. Everybody loves Star Wars. You may not like the Volkswagen, but whatever. I thought that.
How much did they have to pay Star Wars? I wonder for that.
Well, I don't think they did. I think when you miniaturize something, it's fair use.
I was like, come on, it's just a kid.
Yeah,
come on,
it's Baby Vader.
Don't make the kid pay. Don't make the kid pay. Hey, it's just a kid.
I just love the reaction of the kid after the car starts and he looks at the camera. That was my favorite one.
And then there isn't a number 2. There's 2 tied for number 1, and the first one I like the least of the 2. The Bud Light guy throws party while dog sitting. Basically, it had the iconic dogs playing poker at the end. That was pretty good. But then the other one, which I knew would do well, the Doritos. Pug goes for chips. He's going for the glass door. Boom, knocks it over. Very similar to our friend Barrett and the boys' Doritos entry last year, which was in the top 5 of the ad meter.
Right, yeah. Very similar, but very...
Dog shock collar from
very
last year.
simple concept where an animal gets back or gets a person or one-ups a person. That's always a good thing. It's always going to rate highly. I laughed. A lot of people in the room with me laughed.
You can watch all the commercials at usatoday.com. That's
What was your favorite as I turn and cough? I won't do that later on in the week. I'm getting over this cough, people. What was your favorite commercial? What do you think of the halftime show? What do you think of our assessment of the halftime show? You know, you probably disagree based on a lot of the comments last week.
Yeah, just let us know.
You've lost all respect for Rhett and Link. Well, okay. Go to some other duo that talks about nothing in the morning.
We can take it. Chia Lincoln, I don't know if he can take it. Whoa.
He had a bad weekend. This is an old man dying. This is what, you talk about an old man's ashes. That's what Lincoln is becoming. And
what can you do?
You know, you just talk nice to him and
make him comfortable.
Make him comfortable. Keep him comfortable.
See you tomorrow.